What's going on, Metaverse Explorers? In today's video, we'll be exploring the Metaverse and some projects that I think could be set to explode in 2025. So we'll be jumping into some of the tokens and overall sentiment of the Web3 gaming and Metaverse space. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and just dive right into it. All right, so we know Alex Becker over here on X, one of the biggest influencers in the crypto space, has always been really talking about Web3 gaming and Metaverse and how pretty much they're intrinsically tied. He also promotes Neo Tokyo, which I am actually a holder of, own several NFTs over there, and a Bytes holder as well. And I think those assets actually will perform quite well. Now, none of this is financial advice, of course. This is just informational purposes only. But as you can see, on his Twitter feed, he's always talking about Web3 gaming and a lot of other random stuff as well, including Neo Tokyo. But he talks about Neo Tokyo because it is centered around gaming in Metaverse, right? And so he will talk about this consistently, in my opinion. And as you can see, he's already doing that. But as we get closer to 2025 and we go into 2025, I believe he will continue to talk about it. So that's something to look out for, because most of the categories he talks about typically goes up. Now, that's not always the case with all KOLs, but with Alex Becker, he does have quite a bit of influence. So with that set aside, we're going to be jumping into some of the Metaverse categories here on CoinMarketCap. So some of the top projects that I consider that could do really well in 2025, one of those is going to be one of the obvious ones, Sandbox. Now, this one has always been leading the way. Now, this one's been performing quite well for the past month or so. So you can see here the price under 30 cents has pretty much doubled and even went all the way up to almost $1. Now, I think this will continue to have a nice little run and could continue to do really well into 2025 and beyond. But you can see here, it went all the way to $7.46 back here a couple years back. Now, do I think it could go to that? I think it could at least have the potential to go to $3 or above. So time will tell, though. Of course, these things take time to play out, but I do think the performance of this token could do really well. Now, let's take a look at Wilder World. This is another one that is more of a AAA type of metaverse. As you guys know, I also work with Wilder World and also have the cool little badge over there on X. So full disclosure on that. But I do think they have been performing quite well this past month or so. You can see that their token has went to 20 cents all the way to like almost 80 cents. So with that said, you can see back here that their token eventually, or back here at the beginning of 2024, their token went to over $1. And then way back beyond that, their token went all the way up to almost $7, actually above $7 back in 2021. So we could see some nice price action with Wilder World. So something to take a look at if you are into the Metaverse space and Web3 gaming space. I think all of this is really intrinsically tied together, and there's a convergence happening between AI, gaming, Metaverse, NFT technology, blockchain, and what have you. All the technologies really converging together to form really the backbone of the future of the internet. And there's terms for all of this, and people claim to not really know what the metaverse is. In my mind, it's all pretty simple. I just think that people are overcomplicating things. But with that said, speaking of metaverse, the Root Network, they are the ones behind Open and Futureverse. So they have the Ready Player One IP. I think they will do quite well, as we move forward with, these types of different experiences. They have the Ready Player One IP. There's been a little bit of drama between Wilder World and the Root Network, but that aside, I think one wins, they all win kind of scenario. And I think with the niche that we're in crypto, usually a whole category rises and you usually see the best projects perform quite well. I think the Root Network could also perform well. I think it's a different setup than Wilder World. Wilder World is more of a decentralized type of metaverse, in my opinion, whereas Root's going for more of a kind of medium ground in there. They do claim to have an open metaverse type of, platform that they're trying to drop and what have you and build on. But, time will tell. All projects usually shift and their roadmaps change. But Cornucopias, here's another one. Really, if you're not familiar with them, I believe they build on Cardano, unless they moved, since I have followed them for quite some time. But this one could perform really well if they still are over there in the Cardano ecosystem. I could see a lot of the ADA people getting super excited about Web3 gaming when it pops off. And Cornucopias, I think, is one of the ones that are quite positioned well for that. Now, let's pull back here at the yearly. You can see that the token, and really if we go back beyond 2024 and stretch back to 2023 of last year, you can see the token was at 12 cents. Currently, it's at 4. So we could see some movement around that as well. Now, last one here, this one's more of a bonus low market cap ticker. And with all low market caps, really some of these lower market caps, you do have to consider risk, of course. But that we're talking about Seed World here. This is one of the platforms that was launched from over there on the Seed, platform that was basically a launch pad. They created their own, type of metaverse in game called Seed World. Now, this one could, surprise a lot of people as we move forward. It's been doing pretty well over the last month or so. But yeah, this one I think could do well in 2025. We will see. It's at $14 million market cap. I don't know if it's going to go parabolic, but I do think it might perform well as the narratives shift from Web3 gaming and filters down to Metaverse. And of course, I think as technology progresses, we're looking at AI. You see what is going on Virtual's protocol and the AI agents and what have you, and the rise of that. That's only going to progress. And it's always been the thesis here on the channel. We've always talked about AI. We've always talked about Metaverse. We've always talked about even quantum computers at times. And I think the news with Google's Willow kind of proves out the thesis here on the channel and why we've been focusing on all the different pieces of tech that are converging into one. And really the only channel that I know of that talks a lot about this here on YouTube and really on X as well. Not a lot of people talk about the convergence of all these different technologies coming together and forming the future. So with that said, there's a lot there. I also think the AI agent arena is just getting warmed up as well. We see AI XBT, Vader, and many others, Luna, of course, doing well over there. But as those become more like persistent in ways that, are in games, in chats, and you can interact with these AI agents in and outside of games in IRL, then I think it'll be more apparent to a lot of people how really profound some of these AI agents are, depending on their use cases. So I think a lot of AI agents have a lot of potential, but I am keeping a close eye on that. I am invested into, or have some tokens in Vader myself. I watched the AI XBT very early, but it did blow up super quick. So unfortunately, I did miss that one, but I do have some Vader over there and watching the ecosystem very closely. But yeah, that's all I got in terms of this video, kind of a couple bonuses here towards the end. If you like the video, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss any more videos like this. I think 2025 is shaping up to be a solid year, hopefully with fingers crossed, as long as the macro continues down its current path with a lot of bullish indicators in the macro. So with that said, make sure you hit that like if you enjoyed this video as well. And comment down below what other topics you'd like me to explore. Love to jump into Web3 gaming, Metaverse topics as per usual, and occasionally the NFT space and the wider space as well. But yeah, that's all I got for this one. Let me know what you guys are jumping into, what excites you, and I will be reading through those comments and possibly displaying them in a future video. So that's all I got for this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Be like an NFT, be authentic, and I'll catch you later. Peace.